Hey everybody, welcome back to the Everyday Life of Deputy Bryan Woodard on the Bryan Woodard Show, and we have a special treat for you today. Now, I've been talking to you all about this for the past, I don't know, what is it, Londa, a week or so? Yeah, about a week or so that we're going to have a special guest on the show. Now, this person you all probably already know. You've heard her name before. You've always heard positive things. You've heard honorable things. And this is a woman that has integrity and is in the community always. She served 17 years at the 363rd Criminal Court. That's a long time. That's probably older than I am right now.
It's older than you.
You wish.
Yeah, and from 2017 to 2018, she served as the first black female appointed district attorney to serve in Dallas, Texas. So without further ado, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce the Honorable Faith Johnson to our show. Thank you, Judge Johnson, for coming on. Everybody's been waiting on you to come on, and we are live here on Facebook with Alonda and me and just you in the room in the community that is watching.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Bryan Woodard. Everyday Life of Bryan Woodard. Yay.
Yeah, I gotta clap for myself every now and then because y'all, Alonda don't want to clap for me from time to time. She been doing me like that from time to time. So you look at her face right now.
I'm having a hot flash right
Oh,
now.
my goodness. Uh-oh.
So the first things first, Judge, what made you want to run? Why are you running? What is your platform? Why are you running for district attorney?
I'm running because I care. I care about the people of Dallas County, point blank. I'm the youngest of 13 kids,
Right.
originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and we were poor growing up.
Right.
And my mom asked me one day, she had saved $25, and she asked, baby girl, what do you want for graduation? And she just knew I wanted a new dress, a new pair of shoes, because, I had all these hand-me-downs from time to time.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. So it was her opportunity to buy me a brand new dress. She had saved that $25. And to her surprise, when she asked that question, what do I want? I said, Mama, I want 100 friends. She said, no, baby girl. Did you hear my question? What do you want for graduation? I've saved this $25 to get you whatever you want. I said, Mama, I want 100 friends. She said, what are you going to do for 100 friends?
Oh, wow.
I said, Mama, I'm going to do this for them, and I'm going to do that.
Wow.
And the way I'm shaking like that, y'all happy and excited.
Right.
So that's me all the way back at age 16, 17.
Wow.
Always wanting to do this and that because I completely, honestly care about the lives of people around me.
Wow.
So I care about the people of Dallas County. I don't care who you are. You can be black, white, purple, green. You can be young, old, rich, poor. You can be a shop owner or non-shop owner. I care about you. I care about your safety. I care about your security. And your safety is in jeopardy now. And I'm planning to do something about that.
Exactly.
I plan to truly uphold my oath and do what's right by you.
Right.
And that's why I'm running, because I care.
Man, and you know what? This is one thing that I just love. I have to tell everybody this because every time that I talk about this, I get like so amazed. We were at a community event a few years back, and I saw people who had faced you in the courtroom, and they came up to you and they were like, Judge Johnson, do you remember me? And you was like, yeah, I not really, but I'm sure you remember me if you know my name, wouldn't I? And they said, yeah, I was going through a bad time in my life, and it was good that the decision that you made to put me behind bars for a while because it helped me. And this is my family. This and I'm doing good now. And I just wanted to say thank you. And I was standing right there, you all. I was like, my God, how many times do you ever hear anything like that? And it was all for the good. I mean, so what she says is true because when you mean something to people and you don't mean any harm, you're just doing whatever the law requires, but you're still showing love and compassion towards people while protecting people at the same time.
Right.
And that right there was honorable to me. Now, that meant something to me. Now, I'm a police officer, Now, how many of y'all cops out there have had people come back to you and say, hey, man, you remember you arrested me that day? it was honorable.
Well, some people stop me in the store all the time, and it's amazing. In fact, I had a little guy that stopped me in church. I attend the Potter's house, and God stepped me in church. Look, I am for you, left and right, everywhere I go. You just, you did something for me, and you got me right back on track. And I'm just I just love you so, and I just so appreciate you. Now, sometimes people stop me in the store. Now, he stopped me in the church, so
Right.
I figured it was safe.
right.
But sometimes people stop me in the store and say, hey, are you Judge Johnson? I said, well, yeah. They say I look like her.
Oh.
See, first I got to find out what it is they really want.
Right.
And then once I find out what they want, then they say, well, you helped me, and I'm just so appreciative. And sometimes people would bring their kids to me and say, look, now I got a baby, and look, I'm straight, I'm free of drugs, and it's all because of you. Thank you, Judge Johnson. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm. One day I'm gonna get to that point. one day, and we have, and I'm glad that you are running along with a lot of personal friends that I know, a lot of neighbors, a lot of friends, church members, associates, police officers. A lot of police officers are supporting you because of one reason, and they tell me the same thing. They might not tell everybody else, but there's a lot of things in the DA's office that the community needs to know about. For instance, we talked not too long ago about the crime rate, or the theft, or things that aren't being prosecuted. And right now we have somebody in the DA's office that kind of has a different feel for things other than you. You're basically doing what a prosecutor was supposed to do, because that's what you went to school for. You went to law school, you become a prosecutor.
Right.
And you abide by the law.
Right.
But you have some district attorneys in certain states, that think differently, think that it's okay to go ahead and steal from people up to a certain amount and things like that. You want to elaborate on that just a little bit for everybody to know? Because I think it's important for people to know. I really do.
Absolutely. I think it's very important, because when we take that oath, we took an oath to abide by the laws of this state and of this country.
Right.
As your DA. Now, I'm not your legislator, I'm not your president, I'm not your governor, I'm not your senator. I'm the person who literally represents the citizens of Dallas County, and that's what I'm supposed to do, and I swore an oath to do that.
Right.
So when you have a policy that you can go into the store and just steal, as a policy, it's not the law. You're actually contrary to the law, because the law doesn't say that you can go into the store and steal $750. The law says theft is theft.
Exactly.
So you have literally disregarded a shop owner, somebody who has built their business all their life honestly just to make a living. I had a little lady who came to one of my workers and said the people were stealing her blind.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
And
man.
she had to go out of
sad.
business. And guess where she is now? She is on welfare with 3 kids because she could not maintain her business. And that's my position. What about the person who literally have worked all their lives to build their business, and you say to them, go on, I don't care about you, shop owner.
Right.
I'm going to allow whoever, as long as they don't steal more than $750, I am not prosecuting that. Now, I want to know who teach their kids to be thieves? Who wants them to grow up to be
I
thieves?
wasn't brought up that way, because we used to get corrected right then and there, because my mother used to always say, if you do anything, wherever you show out, I'm going to show out. Yeah. And that's how they were teaching us. Don't steal.
Yeah.
Be respectful to adults. If you take something that doesn't belong to you, you better get it right, because that's not how we brought you up. They told you basic morals because they don't want you to grow up to become an adult,
Right.
and then end up getting locked up because you weren't taught the right thing.
Exactly.
The right thing.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. I just have a question. So you're saying that if I have a store and I'm just starting out, someone comes in my store and steals $600 worth of merchandise.
$749.99.
Whoa.
Okay, $749.99.
Right.
You're saying to me that they get a slap on the wrist or a pass?
Well, they don't get any kind of slap. The police at first were trying to come out in contradiction to what the DA was telling them to do, and the DA said, "Don't bring those cases because we're not going to prosecute them."
Oh,
so
my goodness.
exactly right. You can go in, and because you're not keeping up with who's going in and who's not going in, and Constable Woodard knows because he has worked for Walmart and some of these stores, and they're
Right.
telling
A lot of
them,
off-duty things.
hey, leave them alone. The police not going to come out. Don't try to challenge them because the DA is not going to prosecute.
So, I'm just trying to get this for the listening audience. Because I'm a small
y'all listen
business
to this.
owner,
Please
right?
listen to this.
I'm just really trying to wrap my head around this. So, if I'm a small business owner with the storefront and there's 10 more of us, So you're telling me that all 10 of us total, for the lack of math, that's $70,000 of theft.
Right.
That the police will not come out, because that means each store,
Yes, exactly.
$749.99, $749.99.
Yes.
They can steal from each of us.
Yes, and they can steal more than one time a day. Because they're not
So
keeping up
each
with it.
transaction.
Yeah, for each transaction. Yes,
Wow.
Man,
So
that
now,
is
so for
crazy.
those who are in underserved communities who are trying to bring a better opportunity, better choices in that community, says, am I willing to take that risk because of what the theft of possibility could be? And when I look at the theft rate in that zip code, then as a business owner, I have to make a decision to say, do I have the upfront loss capital
Right.
to actually be okay with losing the first year? Because, wow.
Yeah.
So basically, Bryan, no, our family didn't teach us how to steal. The system teaches us to steal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is,
And it's contrary to what
Wow.
our parents are teaching us. Think about it. I don't know of one parent who has trained their child to steal. Because think about it. If you've stolen now for the last 3.5 years, what do you think you're going to become? Rather than teaching you to go to school and learn your ABCs and maybe become a doctor or a lawyer or maybe the next president of these United
Right.
States,
Right.
an educator or something. No, go ahead and steal. Once you start stealing, what motivates you to want to do anything else other than steal?
Takes
If
21
you're
days.
able to steal and get away with up to $749.99 today, and then I can do it tomorrow, and then I can do it the next day, that's a way of living. Why would I want to choose any other way to live?
Now the thing about it is, so I'm a business owner. I own my own business, and I have employees that are under me that have families too. And if you would come and break into my business or come and steal from my business, let's just say you want to steal. I own a barber and beauty shop. You want to steal all the barbers or the stylist equipment, or steal TVs, or steal chairs. So you mean to tell me up to $750 worth of items, or what was it, $749?
$749.99.
And there's nothing I can do about that. As hard as I've worked to get this thing up off the ground, it's basically just a loss. I mean, I would feel, and I can speak for some of the business owners, because I would feel very bad. I would be pissed off. I would be upset if the district attorney in my county was not doing anything about it. And then furthermore, that also can be a hazard to law enforcement officials, because you still have those officers like me that's going to uphold the law and do everything they have to do by necessary to keep you safe, everybody safe, and they'll do whatever it takes to go ahead and restore order.
Right.
And if you're working, like an example, Walmart or a grocery store, an off-duty gig, or even if you're on duty, and you see somebody committing theft or doing a crime or whatever the case might be, we can end up getting hurt in the process of trying to subdue a subject or arrest them, but it will make us feel so stupid that we went through all of that for nothing.
Exactly.
And now they're free.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we sitting at home injured somewhere, depending on what the situation is, and that is not fair at all.
Well, Deputy, I have gone out and talked to a lot of the police chief, and some of them are telling me that the criminals are actually going into the stores with their calculators.
Oh,
And
my
they are
God.
calculating
now.
and adding up what they're taking.
Wait a minute.
And they make certain that they haven't gone over $749.99. And some of them are even there if the police so happen to come out. One police chief told me that the criminals are telling them, you can't arrest me because the DA said that we can steal up to $749.99 and he's not prosecuted. Now, allegedly, the DA said, well, it's just for people who's stealing milk and bread. Well, we know that's not happening.
Theft
They're
is
not
theft.
stealing bread and milk. They're stealing TVs. They're stealing Cadillac
Convertible.
convertibles.
And it's on the internet.
Yes,
All these internet
exactly.
videos of them just walking right out and taking their time with it.
Exactly.
Boosters are making a killing.
Yes, yes.
I'm with you today. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying,
saying they are.
You wonder why boosters are career. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it.
I have to agree with that.
You
yes.
know, look, hey, let's just call a spade a spade. A booster goes into a store, steals some cologne, some Gucci cologne.
That good stuff.
It ain't $700, so they can buy 2 bottles, come back out on the street, make about sell it for $250. That's $500.
Exactly.
They done made it come up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
21 days it takes to make a habit. I'm just saying, boosters are.
But you know something, Alonda and Debbie? Some shop owners, when the people come in and steal, they're just raising their hands in the air to let folks know, I don't have a gun or nothing, and they're just letting them come in and go out because they know it's nothing they can do.
Wow.
Up there on Oakland.
Right.
I mean, it's not just South Dallas, but it's
Right.
all over Dallas County. And I'm telling you, businesses are fed up. They're saying enough is enough. They are looking for somebody like a Faith Johnson who's going to come to their rescue
Exactly.
and do something about
I
it.
gotta go ahead and do
Yes.
That's
that.
what they're doing. Yes.
And I think that piece right there needs to be shared throughout Dallas County, that it doesn't matter what city you're in, what part of town you're in. As a business owner, you're losing.
Yes.
And I mean, if, you know, Junior and the third and the fourth and the fifth all come in behind,
Right.
and that's each individual $749.99, I can't meet my payroll and also sales. It's hard enough as a small business owner to get resources and services at a discounted rate that your larger corporation. So my vision and my dream is shattered because I'm not being protected as a business owner in the
Exactly.
community where I choose to offer products and services. Now that helps me understand why you have smaller companies that are not a Walmart, not a Target,
Right.
but you have a Whole Foods, you have a Central Market who do not want to go in those communities. They can't take that risk.
Right.
They cannot take that risk.
And think about it too. Those people like a Walmart or a Kmart or what have you, who are a little bigger, who do you think are paying for those thefts?
The
What they gonna
Taxpayer.
The taxpayer.
The
So you
taxpayer.
think they're gonna just simply take that rip off without you and me and everybody else sharing in the cost of
That's
that?
right.
So that's why the prices go up. So this impacts everybody
It does.
in Dallas County. Everybody.
You know what? A lot of things that citizens need to know, and there are a lot of you all that's unaware of it. That they don't know that this is going on. They don't know. What do you mean? They might be looking at this live podcast. What do you mean, Dallas County? They can steal from me, and the DA's not going to do anything about it. In other words, yes they can if it's under a certain amount. In which, that's why I say all the time, you have to be careful. And I'm not really pushing this on anybody. I'm just going to tell everybody that you have to be careful of who you vote for. You have to look that person up. You have to see if that's going to be the best choice for you and your family, and not just pick somebody off of popularity, because I want somebody who is actually going to get in there and do their job. Because just being a police officer, I can easily go and raise my hand in front of the judge and swear to do the right thing, but that'll be a waste of time if I'm just wasting his time and the community's time. Somebody could either get hurt or severely disappointed, or you know, if I'm not going to do the job, why would I be there? Why would I
Right.
want to put myself on the front line like that?
Right.
And
Wow.
that's one thing, you know, even for me as a law enforcement officer, I feel that we do need a strong district attorney that is going to do the right thing. This is not a favoritism thing. Not any favoritism.
Right.
It's just you're either right or you're wrong. And because I know, Judge, that there's been a lot of big time cases that came through your office, that came across your desk, and you
Yes.
handled it completely. I remember you used to think certain things about, well, I'm just going to pray for this decision. I'm going to do the right thing, and then I'm just going to move on. You know, it's not a popularity thing. I would feel more comfortable sleeping at night, knowing that my stuff is safe, knowing that, my stuff can be protected. And if by chance somebody comes and does something or break into my home or steal from me, that something will actually be done about it. And so that's one thing why I'm so glad that you're running. There's a lot of other officers that are honored that you are running, because they are tired. And I can speak, they are tired of just wasting their time, wasting their energy, because it's hard out there.
Yeah,
And being a law enforcement officer in the law enforcement field, it's not the most smiled upon right now.
Right.
Nowadays. Because we get into a lot of things, and I just want to have someone to have my back when I'm doing the right thing. Just like the community, they want a DA that's going to have their back and fight for them.
Right.
Because without anybody fighting for them, they're all alone. They're by themselves, and they don't deserve that. They do not.
And the key thing, Bryan and Alunda, is it's not even about my personal belief about it. It's about what I have sworn to do. And I set aside personal beliefs. And it's about what the law and what's good for the people of Dallas County.
Right.
I'm a woman who's serving with integrity, honesty, and righteously. I want to do what's right. I mean, when I was your DA in 2017 and 2018, one of the things the Dallas Morning News said about me, they say I was an exceptional leader. So, you need a leader who's not necessarily soft on crime, but somebody who's smart on crime.
I like that.
Somebody who wants, you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Because you're going to need to know when you want to be tough and when you need to show compassion. And that's somebody who haven't just got some blanket policy to say, okay, this is the way it's going to be. You got to be able to fit everything the way it ought to be fitted in each individual life. So that's why you care about the people. You got to go beyond just, okay, well, that's it. This is the way it is for everybody. But everything is not the same in that sense for everybody. For an example, a little kid that goes and steals something, and for the very first time, you don't want to leave him with a record. But if you got a guy who's been stealing for 20 and 30 years, and that's the way his life is, so you don't treat him the same as you're going to treat a little kid who's stealing for the first time, and maybe even for the second time. You want to give him an opportunity to have a real life that's going to be able, so he can grow and develop and really be the person that he ought to be. So that's how you got to look at people. That's why you can't put them all together, bunch them all together and say, okay, that's it. Everybody, doesn't matter who you are, where you are, this is where you go. So that's why you need a leader who's going to be smart on crime. Not soft on crime.
Smart on crime.
Smart on crime.
and when is election day? That's one thing we talk about, because elections are coming up.
Yep.
And these days are going by so fast. I'm telling you, I mean, they're going by in the snap of a finger, just like this. And so election time will be here before you know it. And so we have early voting that's coming up in October. This is the last week of October.
I think the last 2 weeks of October.
Yeah,
It may be the last week and the first week of November, and then election day is on November the 8th.
November the 8th. So we really appreciate you running. And I can say for myself, I thank God that you're running.
Well, I'm honored to run, I tell you. And I say to people, I'm running for you. I'm not running for me. I'm running for you. I'm running for all of you citizens out there in Dallas County, because I said at the beginning of this, and I'm not saying a word just to be saying words. I'm saying it because it's right deep down in my heart, and that is, I care and I want to make a difference and an impact in your life that's going to make it better for you. That's what it's all about. I want to protect you. I want to represent. I want you to finally have a DA that's representing the people of Dallas County. And that DA will be Faith Johnson, your next Dallas County District Attorney.
Also, so, you have an event coming up as well, too, if I'm
yes,
I'm
having a...
We almost forgot about that.
Right. I'm having a campaign community kickoff. In DeSoto, we have a DeSoto office, we have a Turtle Creek office. Woo, woo. So we need all you DeSoto people, Cedar Hill, Lancaster, anybody can come. But I really want to see the DeSoto people, Lancaster, Glen Heights, Cedar Hill. I want you to come out, Grand Prairie, to our kickoff. We're going to have on September the 10th at 1223 East Beltline in DeSoto. 1223 East Beltline, and that's on a Saturday from 11 to 1. We're going to have free hot dogs, we're going to have chips, and we're going to have snow cones for the first 50 people that come, and it's going to be some singing and dancing. You're going to love it. Come out and join the crowd.
Yeah. You know what I always say? Wherever there's food, I'm in the mood.
That's right. Free hot dogs, turkey hot dogs, and beef hot dogs. For those people who don't eat beef, you like turkey, we're going to have turkey and beef hot dogs.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Did you have something else, Alunda?
I do. So, okay, Bryan, so I'm supposed to turn the tables on both you and on Faith.
Okay.
Because you both are running for office. And the question that I have is, we know that municipal and county elections are always a low turnout. Mm-hmm. Can each of you, from your perspective, a police perspective and prosecutor to past district attorney, can you talk to us about how important voting is at the county and municipal level, as well as the impact that it has for state and national positions.
That's a good, very well put question, and that's why I love her on the show, Judge, because she has that voice or whatnot. And for those of you all that don't know about the constable's office, so I am running for Dallas County Constable, and the constable's office, we do criminal and civil law. When people have issues like small claims, or they want to sue someone, or they want to get their house back or their car back, whatever, they go to what we call the Justice of the Peace. Every precinct has a Justice of the Peace, and basically we are the people's police. Okay, we're the people's police, and we're important because they're, say for instance, civil law. A lot of law enforcement agencies don't practice civil law. They can't enforce civil law. The constable's office can. Your city police, they don't do evictions and do justice of the peace or courts or put people out and things like that, or writs of sequestration or things like that. It's the constable's office. So we play a very important role in our community, and we're more accessible than others because you're supposed to be able to just go ahead and get to know, because it's not that many of us, versus the city. You might have Dallas, for instance, probably 2,000 some officers, where the constable's office only has about maybe 40, maybe 25 at the most or whatnot. So we come in contact with the community more often, and we want people to be able to get to know us and be around us and not to be afraid of us, because I can't tell you how many times I've been coming across little kids or playing or whatnot, and they can either do one or two things. They could either come run to me and hug me and love me, hey, Deputy Woodard, hey, this and that, and that means I'm actually out there in the community with it. Or they can run from me and be afraid, thinking that I'm just another officer that they're used to being seen. The Justice of the Peace, same thing. More people walk through the JPs than anybody else. Before you get to the big courts, the big criminal district courts, and the big family, mainly everybody has gone through the JP court before. You have traffic in and out at high alarm rates, and especially when it's coming nowadays in time for evictions, because, of course, COVID and things like that. And you have business owners, and you have people who own their homes that they want their homes back, or people are just falling on hard times. You know, that's the place where you go to the Justice of the Peace. We don't flood the high-end criminal district courts. Now, when something like that happens and big crimes happen within the city, then that's when it goes up the ladder. You know, this is your county. Okay, and Judge Johnson can tell you more on that end, because she was a sitting judge for over 17 long years. Now, you know how much, and I say this all the time, you know how much studying you have to do to be...
and laws are forever changing.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a lot of studying. I mean, and it doesn't just stop just because you passed the bar and now you practice. You still got to study when you practice. Right. You have to still find what this is and find when the laws change. You have to know that. You know, there's a lot of studying into it. Right. And I hope I'm encouraging a lot of those young folks out there that want to be an attorney or want to be a judge. It's worth it, but it's a lot of studying involved to it. So, Judge, you can go about the higher upper levels when it comes to the county.
Yeah, I wanted to say, Alonda, is to me, it's more important to vote locally than to vote nationally. Because we hear what the senators are doing and the president and that, all of that. But what happens at the local level, from your JP to your constable to your district attorney, those are the things you can feel. See, you can see. You can see that impact.
Right.
And ultimately, we see some of the impact from our senators and our Congress people. But it's almost every day you see what the impact of your DA, or the impact of your constable, or the impact of your JP.
Exactly.
So that's why, and it's so amazing that people tend to disregard those positions, and those are the positions that impact them more than any other.
It's right in your own
because it's right there in front of you. So rather than having a low turnout, we ought to have more people coming out for these local races, these municipal races, these sheriff races, the county constable, DA race, because those are the things that you can feel.
Exactly.
Right.
You can feel it. So that's why I would love to encourage people, come out and vote. Usually sometimes we have 10% of the voters coming out. Look at what happened in some of these municipal races, mayor's races. I mean, you may have only 1,000 or 2,000 people, and you got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in those cities.
Absolutely.
And 2,000 people decide who your mayor is or who your city council person is. And think about it. If just 50% of them came out to vote, it would be more of a representation of what you really want, who you really want in office to serve you and to represent you. So I just think that it's so important that people come out, vote in these, what we call these lower ballot races, because those are the races where you can feel the difference in your lives day by day by day.
No, that's outstanding, amazing. Everybody on the Everyday Life of David Bryan Woodard, if you have a question that you want to ask Judge Johnson, we will be providing the Facebook phone number. You can leave a message on there. So we're not going to do the questions live, but she will be able to hear every concern that you have, every issue that you have, everything that you want to know about the district attorney's office and about her campaign. So for those of y'all that's been with me for a while, you know the number, 469-254-7168. Let me repeat that just in case your pen and your pencil didn't work, because you know sometimes it don't work right away, wouldn't it? So it's 469-254-7168. Call it, leave a message, leave a question. I'll make sure she gets to it. I'll make sure she gets to answer it, or she gets to at least hear it. Now, I might not be able to check everybody's at one time, because you know sometimes how you all do, it's a whole lot of messages, but we're going to make sure we do due diligence and try to get those in. And for you, Judge, thank you so much for coming on the show. It is an honor. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm actually learning from you as well, too.
Take
one thing that I know about you for sure, when you're doing this kind of thing, you are also keeping God first.
Absolutely.
And that is what everybody who's running for office, that's one reason why I made sure that I got baptized, because I don't want to go into anything dirty.
Yeah.
So,
And Bryan, you know, that's what I
say. Go ahead, Judge.
That's what I told the Lord. I said, Lord, I want to do it your way. I want to make certain that I'm right in all that I do, and that I bring you glory and I bring you honor. That's what I want to do, not only as I run this campaign, but as I serve the people of Dallas County in this position. And those of you who knew me back in 2017, 2018 when I served, you know that I served well. Because that's why so many people down there at the courthouse right now, even the judges say, we need you back down here. You were a true leader. That's what people are looking for, true leadership, honest leadership that will make certain that it's about the people. It's not about me personally. So yes, thank you, Deputy, for having me on the show.
Anytime.
I know you could have had so many different other people here today, and you chose me.
Too.
Yeah, right. and you chose me, so thank you so much.
Man,
and it was an honor to be here this evening.
Yes. And also, guys, don't forget to follow her. She has a campaign page. It's Faith Johnson for DA. Faith Johnson for DA on Facebook. Even if you just put Faith Johnson DA, it's going to automatically pop up anyway, because it's a good page. You all go to it, follow it, comment on it, like it, share it. Share it with everybody you know, and let's make sure we are doing the right thing. You'll be mad, especially Dallas County residents. This affects you. This affects you. Londa?
Can I say this to all the listeners, y'all? I think Bryan has my face looking like James the Giant. I don't know. I just feel like the camera's right in my face, like, ha. But let me say this to everyone. This is your opportunity before November the 8th, which is the final election day, for you to actually reach out to whatever candidate that's in your county, in your city that's running for office. This is your opportunity for you to ask them questions, to get your questions answered, so you can make a healthy decision on your choice of candidate before election, without the chaos of the media, without the chaos of individuals, without the chaos of activists, but you do your own homework. Because you will come to find out, you will get a better understanding as to why they made a decision, why they did what they did. And remember, every time that someone leaves office, everything that was left on their table is still there for the next candidate. So you have to, all I do is ask you, call the candidate, reach out to them, talk to them, go where they are. I can tell you, being in the position that I am as a campaign advisor and one who did run for office, we're touchable, we're reachable. It may not be at your time, but we will make the time. And I will tell you, elections now is critical more than ever. Vote for the candidate who will get the job done.
Yeah.
Not just your personal, because I have my personal things that I want to get done, but what's for the good of your community, your city, your region, and your state, and at a national level. Just please reach out to them. I promise you, they'll get back to you. Do your own homework.
That's right.
And make your own decision. So when that candidate of choice is in the seat or not, you know that you did your homework for your candidate of choice. And the last thing that I would like to say is this. Make sure that you ask your candidate, if you win, I know that you'll do right for the community, but for if any reason you do not win that seat, how will you uphold and support the candidate who took the seat? Because you're both running for the same thing to make a difference in that seat. So there should not be one sit down because they didn't take the seat. They should actually join forces with the one who won the seat and come together to strengthen our community, and they can walk in unity hand in hand. That's all I got to say.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
awesome. I love
Judge,
it.
thank you so much. I know you have to get out of here, and that's about the time that we have today, guys. So thank you all so much for watching. And Alonda, want to carry us out?
Yes, and this has been the Everyday Life of Bryan Woodard with Bryan Woodard, Faith Johnson, and Alonda, a.k.a. Lonnie B. And until we see you the next time, you know the saying, smile. You owe it to yourself. No one
Nobody
does it better than you.
Lord
Have a good day,
have mercy.
everyone.
Hey, good night, everybody.